This question comes from Arjun, who asks, is there any actual science behind the simulation theory? Or is it just a popular internet idea with no real evidence? Great question, Arjun. The answer involves serious mathematics, Nobel Prize-winning physics, and one argument that even the most skeptical scientists cannot easily dismiss. Let's run the numbers. The argument. In 2003, philosopher Nick Bostrom published a paper that reframed this question permanently. His argument was simple. One of three statements must be true. Either almost all civilizations destroy themselves before developing enough computing power to simulate consciousness, or advanced civilizations have no interest in running simulations of their ancestors, or we are almost certainly living inside a simulation right now. This is not science fiction, it is formal logic. If even one advanced civilization ever ran simulations of conscious beings and ran many of them, then simulated minds would vastly outnumber real ones. The statistical odds of being among the rare original minds rather than the abundant simulated ones becomes vanishingly small. You cannot disprove this with current tools. That is what makes it serious. What physics actually found here is where the internet version of simulation theory diverges sharply from the real science. Popular culture claims that glitches in the matrix, déjà vu, and moments of coincidence are evidence we live in a simulation. They are not. These are human cognitive patterns, not system errors. The actual scientific evidence is more subtle and more interesting. In 2012, physicists at the University of Washington ran calculations asking a specific question. If reality is computational, would it leave detectable signatures? Their answer was yes. A simulation running on a finite lattice, a grid of discrete points rather than continuous space, would impose a maximum energy limit on cosmic rays. Particles above a certain energy threshold simply could not exist because the grid cannot represent them. That limit exists. It is called the GZK cutoff. Cosmic rays above a specific energy level are never observed. The simulation hypothesis predicted this. Reality delivers it. This does not prove we live in a simulation, but it is the kind of evidence that belongs in a physics paper, not a Reddit thread. The pixels of reality quantum mechanics has always been strange. Particles do not have definite positions until observed. The universe seems to calculate outcomes only when something interacts with them, as if rendering only what is currently needed. This behavior has a name in computer science. It is called lazy evaluation. Programs only compute values when those values are actually required. Running everything simultaneously would be computationally wasteful. A simulated universe would almost certainly use the same efficiency. The universe uses it too. Max Planck discovered in 1900 that energy comes in discrete packets, quanta, rather than continuous values. Space itself may be quantized at the Planck length, approximately 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 35 meters. Below this scale, distance may have no meaning. Reality appears to have a resolution limit, a minimum pixel size beneath which nothing can be rendered. A continuous universe would have no such limit. A computational one would. The problem simulation theory has serious scientific objections that the internet version almost never mentions. The first is computational cost. Simulating a single human brain at the quantum level would require more atoms than exist in the observable universe just to store the information. Simulating 8 billion brains plus all of physics simultaneously is not just difficult, it is mathematically beyond any conceivable computer built from matter as we understand it. Unless the simulator uses shortcuts. Unless it only renders what is observed. Unless consciousness does not require full quantum simulation to function convincingly. The second problem is infinite regress. If we are simulated, our simulators exist in some base reality. But what stops that reality from being simulated? The argument has no natural bottom. You either accept an infinite stack of simulations or one base reality that is somehow special, and we have no way of knowing which layer we occupy. The third problem is unfalsifiability. A perfect simulation would be indistinguishable from base reality by design. Any test we run uses the simulation's own tools. Any result the simulation provides could be manufactured. This places the hypothesis outside the reach of science in its current form. The final answer. So what does science actually say about simulation theory? Bostrom's argument, logically valid, cannot be dismissed without accepting one of the other two conditions. The GZK cutoff, real physics phenomenon consistent with a computational universe quantum behavior. Lazy evaluation and Planck-scale resolution limits are genuinely strange computational cost. Simulating reality at full resolution appears physically impossible. Infinite regress. The argument has no stable foundation. Falsifiability currently untestable, which puts it at the edge of science simulation theory is not proven. It is not disproven. It is one of the few ideas that sits at the exact boundary between serious philosophy, testable physics, and genuine unknowns. The bugs people post online are not evidence. The structure of reality itself, discrete, quantized, observer-dependent, is far more interesting than any coincidence. Whether that structure is a signature of computation or simply the nature of existence, we do not yet know. And that is a genuinely honest answer.